What do you think is the one thing that truly makes us human? For the longest time, science had an obvious answer: our big brains. Humans' superior intellect was the evolutionary spark that lifted us from the apes, the one thing that set everything else in motion. But then, a discovery back in 1974 turned that idea on its head. It was an ancient skeleton, no taller than a modern 5-year-old. And she held a secret that would completely rewrite our origin story. She proved that the most important first step on the journey to becoming human wasn't about the brain at all. It was about how we walked. Before 1974, the story of human evolution was straightforward. The central idea was that the first great leap of our ancestors had to be a bigger brain. Scientists imagined ape-like creatures whose brains started to grow, which then allowed them to make tools. This freed up their hands and eventually led them to walk upright. The brain was the engine driving everything. The story was neat, logical, and it accepted wisdom. But in the remote, sun-scorched badlands of Ethiopia, that whole narrative was about to be shattered. The discovery of Lucy took place in the Hadar region of Ethiopia, located in the Afar Triangle, a part of Africa's Great Rift Valley. This area is a gold mine for paleontologists. For millions of years, geologic upheaval and volcanic eruption laid down layers of sediment and ash, burying and preserving fossils. Tectonic activity and erosion have since exposed these ancient layers, making it one of the world's richest sites for finding hominin remains. An international team had been drawn there specifically because the sediment was rich in well-preserved fossils and volcanic material, perfect for dating. They'd already found tantalizing hominin fragments in 1973, confirming the area's potential. On November 24, 1974, a paleontologist named Donald Johanson was scanning the dusty ravines. After a long, hot morning, he and his student Tom Gray decided to take a different route back to their Land Rover. Suddenly, a chance glance of the ground revealed a tiny, whitish piece of bone. Johanson knew instantly it wasn't from an animal. It was the elbow of a hominin, one of our ancient relatives. What came next was an intense excavation that uncovered something incredible. Not just a few bones, but hundreds of fragments that made up 40% of a single skeleton. In the world of fossil hunting, finding that much of one individual was like hitting the jackpot. At 3.2 million years old, she was, at the time, the most complete and ancient human ancestor ever found. That night, the camp was electric with celebration. The Beatles' "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds" was blasting from the tape recorder over and over. And in that moment, the skeleton found her name. Lucy was born. And she would go on to become a household name, a true paleo rock star. Back in the lab, as researchers painstakingly pieced Lucy together, a picture emerged that didn't make sense. At least not according to the old theories. Here was a creature that stood only about 3.5 feet tall. Her skull held a brain no bigger than a chimpanzee's. Her arms were long and powerful with curved fingers, perfect for climbing trees. Based on her skull and upper body, she looked very primitive. But her lower body told a completely different story. Her pelvis was short and bowl-shaped, much like a modern human's, not long and narrow like an ape's. There was no question about it. Lucy walked upright. She was a bipedal. This was the bombshell. For the first time, there was concrete proof that walking on 2 legs, bipedalism, came before big brains. It flipped the old theory completely upside down. The revolution didn't start on our heads, it started on our feet. This was a monumental insight. Walking upright is what freed the hands, allowing our ancestor to carry food, hold infants, and eventually create stone tools. It was this radical shift in posture that paved the way for our brains to eventually get bigger, not the other way around. The discovery of Lucy and her species, this is a mouthful, Australopithecus afarensis, completely reshaped our understanding of human evolution. She became the critical benchmark in our family tree, giving us a clear picture of an ancestor that lived for nearly 1 million years ago, a huge testament to the success of the new way of the moving through the world. 50 years later, Lucy's importance hasn't faded one bit. She is still the standard against which other hominin fossils are compared. And today, with modern technology like CT scans and digital modeling, scientists are still teasing new secrets from her ancient bones, learning more about how she lived, moved, and grew in Ethiopia that was lush and green millions of years ago. Her discovery didn't just rewrite our past, it inspired a new generation of scientists fueling expeditions that continue to push the story of humanity even farther back in time. And if you find the origins as fascinating as I do, please subscribe for more deep dives into discoveries, travel, and adventure that define us. And let me know in the comments, what's the most amazing part of the story to you? Lucy was so much more than a collection of ancient bones. She was a revolution. She represents that incredible moment when our ancestors took their first real steps away from the apes and onto a brand new evolutionary path. Her skeleton is a powerful reminder that before we could think like humans, we had to walk like them. Thanks for watching. This is your daily reminder that every step we take today is part of a journey that began over 3 million years ago.